I can hear you clearly.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
JABEEN.
Hi, hello. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Sorry, I got the time mixed up there.
It's all right.
I
That's
forgot
fine.
about the daylight saving time extra hour.
It's okay. Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and thanks for joining this session. This session is very important for all UOW potential students. I planned this session to answer your all queries that were really relevant to your job, your future prospects, and so on. And how can you cope up with the situation right away? So we have a special guest with us today, Halil Abikan. He's a regional manager at UOW, and he will answer your all queries that are relevant to your future prospects, or currently we are holding the offers, and how can you join online classes, or how will help it in your future? Either you get the referral offer letter and so on. But with the procedure, Halil is here. He's going to answer you all queries. So over to you, Halil. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. It's always a pleasure to reconnect with NC solicitors and see some familiar faces, which is great. And thanks for the opportunity to speak to students tonight, or daytime, your time. So I was thinking, did you want me to start off with just a brief overview presentation of the university?
Of course, Khalid, we definitely want you to give the presentation about the university. Later on, we would like to cover different questions that will be relevant to current situation of COVID-19, and what is the current situation of vaccination? Is it rolled out, and how government is planning to take international students back immediately, because
Mohammed,
we have a number of students
mute yourself,
there.
if you don't mind? I'm getting a lot of back.
Oh, yes,
I'm getting.
please.
Oh, okay.
If you could.
So it's okay. So yes, first of all, Halil, you are allowed to talk about present something about UOW. Later on, definitely we'll cover
JABEEN, I
different.
missed about 30 seconds of what you said.
That's all right. I repeat. Obviously, Halil, you can cover whatever you would like to say about UOW. This is our favorite university. Definitely, we would like to know more about UOW. Later on, we'd like to cover different topics. Current situation of COVID-19 in Australia, and what is new courses and scholarships, so on. And besides, we'll definitely talk about current situation of COVID-19. And what is the government's plan to keep international students back, because we all know that vaccine is here in Australia and it is rolled out around the country. So what is the impact of vaccine, and how can we see the future of international students? Because we can see unrest among international students. They are getting panic. They are getting, feeling unrest. There is unrest among students. They cannot wait more. And what with the future plans? How can you see that? What with the time period you can get international students back? So over to you.
Okay, I think I caught most of that. So can everyone in the chat box, if you don't mind, Umar Malik, Humayun, Ahmed, Ali, Isra, Osama, and Wasif, and Umair, in the chat box, can you just type if you can hear my voice?
All right.
Just in the chat box, if you can say,
students
if you can just say yes.
Chat box, please, yes,
yes.
if you can hear us.
Umar Malik, thank you. Osama Zain, thank you. Humayun, can you hear me? I can. Okay, great. Ali, thank you. Okay, great. Thank you, Wasif. Okay, so I'll just have a bit of a brief introduction of myself and what's happening, I guess, from the government's perspective with the whole corona situation. Then I'll go into a bit of a presentation about the university and what to expect whilst you're studying here, location and so on. And during that time, if you could, in the chat box, just write your questions, and JABEEN, and we will answer them. And if you could just write to everyone as well instead of like direct message to me or to Jabeen, that way
It will be
we
more
won't have
credible, I guess. Definitely.
we won't have overlapping questions. So
Sure.
that'll be good. Great. Again, thank you, Jabeen, NC Solicitors, for organising this event. Great to catch up with future students. So my name is Khalil Avikan. I've been with the university for approximately 12 years, actually just 12 years recently.
Yeah, congratulations.
And yeah, thank you. And so my role is to have a chat to future students and talk to them about the university and career, obviously, and study options at the university. So what I'm going to do, okay, before I get into the presentation. So currently, as you all may have been watching the news, international news about Australia, currently the Australian borders are still closed for everyone except for Australian citizens or permanent residents wishing to return. So those citizens who are currently returning do have to quarantine in hotels for 2 weeks before they're allowed home. So currently, New South Wales hasn't had any community transfers of the COVID virus for about 3 weeks. And that's similar to every other state. So we've really suppressed the COVID in that manner. And the only active cases that we currently have are those who are currently in hotel quarantine. So our next intake is March, so it'll be the 1st of March, 2021. So it's in about 3 weeks' time. And it does not look like the borders will be open for that intake. However, students can, if they wish to, study remotely, so online. And if you choose to study remotely online for next semester, there will be a 10% remote study bursary. Now, this is for the duration of the current COVID situation, so the disruption period. Now, we also have different scholarships available as well and different bursaries specifically for Pakistani students. However, I'll just mention something briefly, and that is if you qualify, for example, for the undergraduate or the postgraduate excellence scholarship, that is a value of 30% of the tuition fee. Now, you could be successful in that and also receive the 10% remote study bursary. So that's up to 40% scholarship for that semester. Now, should you study online for the first semester, that period will count towards your post-study work rights. So if you study a minimum 2-year degree at the bachelor's or the master's level, that online component will count towards your post-study work rights. And in Wollongong, because we are a regional campus, that will be 3 years rather than 2 years if you were to study in Sydney, for example. Okay, so at this stage, we are hoping that the July intake, we will start to see some international students. The reason for that is the Australian government is starting to roll out the vaccine. So it was approved last week. That's the Pfizer vaccine. So they're going to start rolling that out next week with the hope that the entire population will be vaccinated by July. So two weeks and then go about their studies. So that's still a bit unclear for July, but the vaccine rollout is happening next month. And obviously it's going to start with all the health professionals and those who are in risk of COVID, so above 70 and so on. So that's the current situation, but we are optimistic. I'm optimistic, and yeah, we do hope July will be the date where we can start seeing international students. So inshallah, that will happen. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a snapshot about, inshallah, a bit of a brief on the university. So I'm just going to share my screen. Jabeen, can you allow me to be a host?
Sure.
Or co-host, please?
So you're the host now, Halil.
Okay. Can you hear me and you can see the screen as well?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see the screen as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, screen is visible. Yeah.
Okay, great. So my name is Halil Evercan, and as I mentioned, I'm the regional manager for the University of Wollongong, and I also look after Pakistan and Middle East, Europe, Africa, and quite a number of regions. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about the Wollongong and the surrounding areas and the university and so on. So Wollongong is the 9th largest city in Australia, and we have a population of about 300,000 people in Wollongong, I should say. And it's only 85 kilometres south of Sydney, so it's very close to Sydney. However, it is a city on its own. We do have, I have my son with me here as well, which I'm trying. Hang on a second, just wait. Hang on, Bubba. Hang on, Bubba. Hang on. Sorry about that, everyone. Son was just getting a bit upset. Okay, back up here. Where am I? Yep, so we're very close to Sydney. Majority of the students do live in Wollongong. However, in between Sydney and Wollongong, there's other suburbs, say Hurstville or Sutherland. Now, students do live there as well because it is cheaper to live both in Wollongong and southern Sydney. And that still gives access to students to access the job market as well. Wollongong does have plenty of jobs available for those students who wish to work whilst they're studying. So we are ranked in the top 1% of universities. So we're ranked 196 in the world by QS rankings, and ranked 10th in the world for those universities under the age of 50, and top 20 for 16th best modern university in the world as well. So we were established as a proper university in 1973. And when you look at those rankings, it's you can see the quality of education that students will get. And all our programs are recognised by the appropriate association or governing body. So in total, we have about 35,000 students. Now, that includes our offshore campus as well. So we have campuses in Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong. So at our Wollongong main campus, we have approximately 22,000 students on campus, and about 6,500 of those students are international. We also have campuses in Sydney. So we have two campuses in Sydney, one at the centre of Sydney, and that's where we offer postgraduate business programs, and southwestern Sydney is where we offer both postgraduate and undergraduate programs. So as I mentioned earlier, just last year, the university received a regional status. Now, what that means is that students who do study a minimum of 2 years, whether it be academic or postgraduate programs, can be eligible or will be eligible for the post-study work rights for 3 years. So if you were to do a business program at our Wollongong campus, you'll get 3 years post-study work rights. If you do the post-study work rights at our Sydney campus, then you'll only be eligible for 2 years. Okay, so all our facilities are located on the one campus as well. So from all the food outlets, cafes, we have lots of activities for students for example, swimming, Olympic-sized swimming pool, gymnasium. There's lots of different events as well, including cricket, rugby, and there's lots of clubs and societies to join as well. So Pakistan does have a Pakistan Students Association, and I'd encourage everyone to jump on the UOW Pakistan Students Association website. They also have a Facebook as well. So when you do arrive, it's a great way of meeting other Pakistani students on campus. And it's a great way, actually, they can guide you on where to shop, best locations for food, etc. So because they've obviously got that experience earlier. As I mentioned, we do have a campus in Sydney and Liverpool. So just on the map there. So Sydney's on the coast, just 85 kilometres south, with Liverpool campus just southwest at about 25 kilometres. Now that image that you see on the bottom right-hand corner, that's one of the images from our Sydney business campus that looks out to the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge as well. And that image in the middle is from our Southwest Sydney campus or the Liverpool campus. And the one above is the image of the library at Wollongong. As I mentioned, we do have campuses in Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Singapore and Dubai. So students, for example, if you choose to, you could start off at our Dubai campus. and do, say, one semester, because the UAE actually are accepting international students. You could start by doing one semester there, for example, and then you can transfer to UOW with full credit, and we'll also offer a 25% bursary for those students who do transfer from our Dubai campus. So that's also another opportunity there for those students who may be interested in that. So we have 4 faculties. However, it's probably best that I talk to you about our discipline areas. So we're a comprehensive university. I guess the programs that we don't have that students may be interested is dentistry and pure architecture. So they're the programs that we don't have. However, we do cover pretty much all other programs from bachelor's through to master's and or PhD. So all these discipline areas that you see, from business, health medicine, education, engineering, social sciences, public health, you could do that at the bachelor's and or postgraduate level as well. So accommodation, we do have a wide range of accommodation options available for students, both on campus and off campus, and with single rooms, shared rooms, unit style rooms where there's a common seating area, like a lounge area you can see here on the bottom right there, and or a common kitchen area as well. We also cater for those who have a family, so you can have a unit, a 2-bedroom unit, for example. And we also have fully catered meals, so where we provide 14 meals a week, so that will be breakfast and dinner, and it's dietary requirements too. So if it's halal food, we have obviously halal food on campus as well. So that wouldn't be an option. Would be an option. Majority of students do start off with UOW accommodation, and then after meeting other students, they tend to move out to private accommodation because it can be a little bit cheaper. However, as I mentioned, it's a good idea to go onto UOW Pakistan Students Association, and they can really help guide you with accommodation as well, which is a great idea. So these are all the residences that we have, and for example, Coolabong Village, it starts from $220 per week, Bangalore $256, Market View $295, and Campus East $195. So they're the options that are available should you choose to live on campus and through UOW accommodation or residences. The great thing about Wollongong is that we have free buses, and it's not just for students, but it's actually for the entire public. So anyone can use it at any time. I use it quite often, actually. And you can see here in the red, these lines here. So there's a bus that goes around the suburbs here and into the city, and another blue bus that goes up around Campus East, so that's one of our accommodation sites, back into the city, and then again past other accommodation sites, and then back into campus. Now these run clockwise and anti-clockwise as well. So you can catch a bus every 10 to 15 minutes actually. The buses go past the campus. Now this dotted line here, that's the train line. And there are students who live up north, so up towards Sydney Way. Those students catch the train to North Wollongong Station. And then we also have a free bus that leaves every time the train arrives, basically, and into campus as well. Though that is only probably about a 15-minute walk, maybe 12-minute walk from the train station to the campus. Now, this is just some comparisons per month on accommodation. So, for example, a 3-bedroom apartment in Wollongong, you're looking around 2,000 Australian dollars, whereas Sydney CBD, you're looking around $4,100. So it's going to be clearly a better option to live in Wollongong. And of course, you can work 20 hours per week or 40 hours a fortnight, and that will assist in your ongoing living expenses as well. So on campus, we have, as it says, 20 options to get food. So lots of restaurants and cafes, uni shop. We have a grocery store. It's basically a city within a city. We have a post office, hairdresser as well, and travel agent, and so on. So it's very much a city within a city. For those who want to do business programs at our Sydney campus, this is pretty much the view that you will get, because this is the building that the university does its lectures and tutorials. So that's the view that you'll see. So you'll see the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. And so for those students who want to do the Master of Management, Master of Marketing, Human Resource Management, Business Analytics, and so on, you can do that both at our Sydney and or Wollongong campuses. Now you can also combine two of these degrees. So you might wish to do a Master of Business and then the second year do a Master of Human Resource Management. So you can actually do two master's degrees in 2 years, and that also qualifies for the post-study work rights as well. Our Southwest Sydney campus, which was established about 3 years ago, and we are growing our programs and courses there. However, these are the undergraduate and postgraduate courses that are available: nursing, social work, health leadership and management, commerce at the bachelor's level, business information systems, computer science, and so on. Now, apart from all that, we do obviously offer student support services, both at the personal and academic level as well. So we do have student support advisors, and that is available for each faculty. So if you have any issue, your number one point of call should be your student support advisor, and they can give you guidance on personal or academic issues that you may be having, and I'm sure you won't, hopefully you won't. But we also have a medical doctor on campus, a dentist, a dietitian. We have legal advice, financial counselling, and disability services for those who may need it as well. Academic and social support, so peer-assisted sessions. So this is where students who may have completed, say, Math 101 or Engineering 101, they actually put a class together, and those current students who are doing that particular subject, those students assist those students to get through or have a better understanding of that, that subject as well. As I mentioned, there's over 120 different clubs and societies to join as well, and the UOW Pakistan Students Association, which is a great idea to be in contact with. We also offer career and academic support. So our Careers Central, we will advertise jobs both on campus and off campus as well. We also have, and we'll help you to write your resume and tailor it to the Australian market, I should say. We also have Careers Expos, and that's where we invite industry who comes on campus. It's a great way of meeting potential employers and understanding what the work culture is like in Australia as well. So that's a great opportunity there. Bit about scholarship. So we offer the Undergraduate Excellence Scholarship, which is a 30% tuition fee waiver. Now, you don't actually have to apply for that scholarship. That's automatically assessed by our admissions staff, and that will be based on your high school results. Similarly, with the UOW Postgraduate Academic Excellence Scholarship, that's also valued at 30%, and it's a 30% discount off the tuition fee, and it is for the duration of the degree, both the undergraduate and the postgraduate scholarships. And that's also assessed automatically, and our admissions team will provide that scholarship to you should you meet the requirements for that. So it's an academic requirement. We do also offer the Faculty of Business and Law country bursaries. So students who want to do postgraduate study in business, they're eligible for a 20% scholarship, irrespective of your grades. However, if your grades are good, you get awarded the Postgraduate Academic Excellence Scholarship, which is 30%, then you won't qualify for the 20% bursary. So it's one or the other, okay? And for those students who do not qualify for the academic bursary, for the undergraduate, we will still offer 10% and 20% for postgraduate. And no, as I mentioned, no application is required. However, there are eligible courses. However, it's majority of the courses that students would apply for. And as I mentioned, the remote 10% study bursary. So students who will be studying online for next semester will be eligible for that for the undergrad, postgrad, or PhD. So that's pretty much the end of the presentation. What we'll do, we'll go to the Q&As, I guess, Jabeen, yes?
So if anybody have any question regarding UOW or so on, you can go to the chat box, or you can ask the questions if you have.
Jabeen, do you have any questions?
Oh, yes, I have, as always. Okay, honey, I have a question right now. You're asking, or you just told us that there is a scholarship 10% if students going for virtual studies, online studies, right? If students not going to opt for virtual study, what is the option for the student?
If they're not going to do virtual remote study, I would then recommend just to defer their offer to the next available session. So that would more than likely be July. Though if it's postgraduate business, then we have a trimester. So the next intake will be in May and then again in August. So I think deferring would be the best option. However, when you do write a statement of purpose, which is part of the genuine temporary entrant assessment of the university, you'd have to write what you've been doing in that 6-month period,
That's right.
and just to justify what you've been up to. So
That's right. Right.
do we still have to quarantine after July 2021? Humayun, I'm not entirely sure. That will be a government decision. I would suspect yes. However, it all depends on how the vaccine program is rolled out. Now, actually, can you tell me, is Pakistan going to be receiving the vaccines shortly as well? Are they rolling it out there? Mohammed, Jabeen?
Pakistan has already booked a lot of doses, around 10 million doses from China. And furthermore, vaccine doses will be coming as well. And the priority is almost the same, that the health worker first, then the old age people, and then those people who require it the most. So the overall the requirement will be the same. But yes, Pakistan is getting the vaccine this month.
Oh, excellent. Inshallah. So, yeah, so whether or not the July, I would suspect the quarantine will still be going in July. So I think that would be safe to say so.
So what were the charges of quarantine? How much we would have to pay if they're going for quarantine?
I believe, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe it's about $150 or $200 a day for the accommodation, but that also covers your meals as well. So I think that's what people are paying at the moment.
And if student is having a vaccination certification, would they get waiver of quarantine or not?
I am unsure of that. I guess that will be a question that we could certainly answer in the coming months.
Sure, no
and how the government will allow students who are vaccinated at home. I would suspect that they will be looking for a vaccine certificate, maybe. But again, we really won't know until a few months' time.
That's right. Okay, as Hadid, we all know that Charles Darwin University just sponsored the flight and took some 63 students last year. So is there any plan, UOW is planning any charter flight to take its potential students on campus?
Charter flights?
Yeah.
So you broke up a bit there, charter flights. I do hope so. I know the UK universities did some charter flights.
Yeah.
Now, if anything, I think July, they will probably open up the borders to international students and maybe by a charter flight. But yeah, at this stage, there's no real talk about charter flights, unfortunately. But I'm very positive for July.
But we can hope so. Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like there will be a student on campus in July, inshallah.
So if anyone wants to study remotely, how long can they defer their course in case the borders are still not open by 2021? Yeah, you can defer, Umar Malik, you can defer your degree up to 1 year. So that's not a problem. And Wasif, I think you asked the same question. Yeah, so 1 year you can defer the program.
And by the way, I would like to add here, Hadid, there is an option for international students. They are just going on same fee that was actually in 2020. UOW didn't raise the fee, and this is the best option besides scholarship.
True.
So yes, UOW didn't raise the fees, and this is just for all international students.
That's correct. Good point there, Jabeen. I forgot to make that point. Yes. So UOW graciously kept the fees at the 2020 level, although we do have 2021 fees advertised. Students who are commencing in 2021, so March, July, trimester 1, 2, 3, the fees will be at the 2020 rate.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
And that's true. So if anybody still have any question, you can ask the question because we are just going to.
Yep. And also for students who want to start in, say, example, July, they can make a deposit of 5,000 Australian dollars towards their degree and receive the confirmation of enrolment and then apply for your student visa. Now, you don't then have to pay the remainder until census date. So, for example, for the March intake, 1st of March is the start of session. Students don't have to make the remainder of the payments until the 31st of March. So it's generally 4 weeks after.
All right. So initially, to get the COE, student will be fine to pay a minimum deposit of 5,000 US dollars.
5,000 Australian dollars.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So all of you, I would say, immediately make our payments before that policy changes.
That's right.
Yeah, because UOW is here to support all international students, and that is why Hadid is with us to support you, to answer you all queries relevant. So if you still have any question, you are free to ask in the chat box. We have only 5 minutes more.
Yeah, and certainly if you don't have any, if you can't think of any questions now and you think, you know, in 10, 15 minutes time, please do contact NC solicitors. We've been working, well, the university, not only my university, but many Australian universities been working with NC solicitors for many, many years. They are the experts in this area. They can help you not only with the application, but also with the student visa. And, you know, they do a fantastic job, and I can't speak highly of them as much as I can. So they're just fantastic.
Yeah, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much, Hadid. If you guys still have any question, or if you do not have any question, you can contact us later. So there's a question.
Okay, so after getting an offer from Sydney campus for postgraduate business course, can anyone get transfer from Sydney to Wollongong in their new offer letter? Yes. So if you haven't actually commenced the degree, you can just request for a new revised offer with Wollongong campus as the main campus that you want to study. However, if you have commenced, that will be an internal decision. And yes, you can transfer from Sydney to Wollongong as well. So either way, that's not a problem.
That's perfect. So Hurmat or anybody from the team, Haris, do you have any questions?
No, not from my side. Thanks.
Alil is always thorough.
Yeah, I try to be anyway. Yeah, that's why I know, like, later on students sometimes think, oh, I've got a question, but then it might be too late. So yeah, certainly contact the NC solicitors. They can certainly, I'm sure they'll be able to answer the question anyway. Thank you, Mohammed.
No, not an issue.
After completing first semester, if I try to change my course, will university offer scholarship? That's a very good question. If you do transfer courses, if that course is eligible for that scholarship, and your academic qualifications satisfy the entry requirements, then it should be okay.
Mute your mic. Mute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, so those who are changing courses, if it's one of those courses that is applicable for the scholarship and you satisfy the scholarship requirements, then it's not an issue. Other than that, can we choose where we want to do our PSW, or it depends on the university administration? So PSW, so post-study work rights, once you do complete the degree and you get awarded the post-study work rights visa, then you can travel wherever you want. You can work full-time, you can not work full-time. It's up to you. So that allows you to live in Australia for an additional 2 to 3 years, and you can work full time. So it's a great way of building that knowledge or work experience from Australia as well. So yes, you can go anywhere. And I very much look forward to visiting Pakistan again. It was in January 2020 I visited, and I visited Lahore. And yeah, I really look forward to coming back and visiting again. And hopefully the borders will be open for me as happens in the coming months.
We all are hopeful for the July 2021 intake. Inshallah.
Yeah, I think we are all hopeful. Yeah. Okay. If we don't have any more questions, should we? Yes. Okay, Umar Malik. Yes, you. No, there's no possible deadline for international borders opening, but we're hoping that it will be July.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Yes, hope for the best indeed. And I say inshallah because I am from Turkish origin, so Turkish background, and also Muslim. So yes, I say inshallah as well. So if you defer to the next year, 2022, will that affect your tuition fee? The tuition fee will be decided in around July, August for 2022. So I can't answer that question, but certainly for this year, the fees are at the 2020 level for all of 2021. You're welcome, Farhan. Okay. I think that's about it. Is that right, Jabeen? Mohammed?
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay.
Does anybody have any other question?
Any final questions? The students who already defer their course 3 times, if they want more deferment. If you defer 3 times, it's probably best if you submit a new application. That way, yeah, it's a lot. Yes, you'll need to submit a new application after 3 deferments.
Now, this will be in case if he hasn't got the COE. But if the student has got the COE and he has already deferred 3 times, then what will be the procedure for him?
If you defer and you've got the COE, again, depending on the program, we would probably encourage the student to reapply because it depends on how long. If it's 1 year, that's acceptable during the COVID situation, but the student then has to justify the reason for that. So the student will have to provide a statement of purpose and reflect the reason for that.
If there is a proper justification, they can get the defer offer letter and it's not an issue. So students don't have to worry at all.
Yeah, but they will have to justify the rationale for the reason to defer. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, Farhan.
If a student gets vaccine from Pakistan before coming to Australia, so and he has a verified certificate for that vaccine, so is it still acceptable for the Australian government or not?
The Australian government hasn't made any announcements with regards to any foreign person arriving in Australia with a vaccine. So that's undetermined at this stage. But I'm sure in the coming months, they will start to look at that because the vaccine is being rolled out in all parts of the world. So yeah, that's something that they really need to look at very soon. Okay.
So thank you, Farhan, for your question. I still have a question, Halif. There would be, inshallah, last question from my side. Because in case student got the visa, so what were the chances he would have to get the deferment?
So if the student's got the visa, yeah, that's all right. So if the student's got a visa, they can defer for 1 semester. That's fine. However, because the student visa is say for, you get it for 2 years. When they come up to that 2-year period, they will still have a semester to complete their studies. So they'll have to apply for an extension, and I can't remember how much it costs. I think it might cost $1,500 or something like that to extend the student visa.
All right. Yep. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So I think there will be so no more questions, I guess. I would like to thank you, Halif, here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for updating us what's going on in Australia. And thanks for your best wishes. I hope so. We all are looking forward that will be a border opening in July, and July intake would be face-to-face, inshallah. If you
Yeah,
have
inshallah.
any, if you still have any question or you want to ask something, you are free to contact me. You can contact Mutan office or wherever you belong to. You can contact us. We definitely answer your queries. Stay tuned with me. I'll definitely coming up with more updates because the motto of this video is to update you guys regarding what's going on and to infuse bit hope in you all that there is a good thing coming up from Australia, right? Thank you so much. Thank you, Hadi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks
Allah
again.
Hafiz.
And
Thank you.
hope to see you all soon.
Sure, inshallah.
So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye. Bye-bye.